Sometimes the exhaustion you feel is not just physical tiredness. It's not just emotional heaviness. It's not just that your body wants rest or your mind wants silence. Sometimes, the deep draining you're experiencing is a signal from the spiritual realm, a message that God is quietly pulling you away from a path that was never meant for you. A path that looked bright for a moment. A path that felt familiar. A path that seemed right in your own eyes, but one that was quietly harming your spirit, your peace, and your destiny. Right now, as you listen, I want you to slow down and breathe. Because what you're feeling is real. The confusion, the heaviness, the sudden loss of motivation, the emotional fatigue, these are not random. This is not a coincidence. God is trying to speak to you through the only language you're willing to hear in this season, your tiredness. When God sees you drifting towards something that will break you later, He doesn't always shout. Sometimes He simply lets the energy around you fade. He allows the wrong doors to feel heavy. He removes the excitement from things that once felt intoxicating. He lets you feel drained so the wrong path becomes uncomfortable. You've been trying to understand why everything suddenly feels off. Why something that once brought you joy now feels burdensome. Why certain people's presence suddenly exhausts you. Why plans that once excited you now feel pointless. Why conversations that once motivated you now drain your soul. Why your spirit no longer aligns with the things you used to tolerate. This is God, gently pulling your spirit back toward alignment. He is trying to rescue you from a path that looked right on the outside but carried danger on the inside. Sometimes God blocks your energy because He wants to redirect your destiny. He knows what you don't know yet. He sees what your eyes cannot see. He hears the conversations you were not meant to hear. He sees the trap behind the opportunity. He sees the heartbreak behind the attraction. He sees the spiritual attack behind the comfort. And instead of exposing everything at once, He simply removes the strength for you to continue. That drained feeling is not weakness, it's protection. There were moments in your life where you asked God to guide you. You asked Him to protect you. You asked Him to remove the wrong people. You asked Him to block the wrong paths. You asked Him to lead you into purpose, peace, and destiny. Now, He's doing exactly that, but it doesn't always look the way you expected. Sometimes answered prayers come disguised as exhaustion. Sometimes protection comes disguised as inconvenience. Sometimes divine redirection comes disguised as losing interest. When God is shifting your life, He first shifts your spirit, and your body feels it before your mind understands it. You may feel like you're losing yourself, but you're actually being restored. You may feel like everything is falling apart, but God is aligning everything. You may feel like the world is getting heavier, but God is removing the things that were never meant to stay. He is closing the chapter that your heart would have stayed trapped in. He is disconnecting you from people who are silently draining your spirit. He is removing your attachment to situations that were quietly weakening you. God is untying you from what was pulling you away from Him. Do you know why you feel disconnected from certain people now? Because their assignment in your life has ended, but your attachment remained. When God wants to move you forward, He removes your energy for anything that no longer matches your future. He makes certain conversations feel empty. He makes certain relationships feel heavy. He makes certain environments uncomfortable. Because if it continued feeling good, you would have stayed stuck. Your soul has outgrown the place you're trying to fit into. The tiredness is not your enemy, it is your sign. You are drained because God no longer wants you feeding your spirit with things that no longer nourish your purpose. He has seen the emotional cost you didn't notice. He has seen the spiritual weight you kept ignoring. He has seen you forcing yourself to stay somewhere your spirit has already left. You've been trying to carry burdens God never intended for you. You've been trying to fix people who were never ready to be healed. You've been trying to stay loyal to situations that were breaking you. You've been trying to be strong in places where your spirit was suffocating. And now God is letting you feel the exhaustion so you finally release what was never meant for your hands. The truth is, you didn't realize you were walking down a path that was shifting you away from who you truly are. A path that was dimming your inner light. A path that was lowering your spiritual vibration. A path that was stealing your peace little by little. God saw it before you did. He saw the future consequences. He saw how the enemy was using subtle distractions to pull you away from destiny. And when God knows you're walking into spiritual danger, He doesn't stay silent. He intervenes. Not always with thunder. Not always with signs in the sky. But with subtle shifts that force your spirit to pay attention. Your tiredness is God's warning. Your drained energy is God's protection. When He wants your attention, He touches your peace first. But understand this, the tiredness is not meant to break you. It is meant to wake you. God is giving you a chance to reset, a chance to step away from what drains you, a chance to find yourself again, a chance to return to Him, a chance to realign your soul. You may not realize it yet, but this spiritual exhaustion is preparing you for a transformation. After this season of tiredness, God will give you clarity. After clarity, He will give you new direction. After direction, He will open new doors. And the path He leads you toward will bring peace instead of pressure, purpose instead of emptiness, strength instead of exhaustion. But first, He must detach you from the wrong path. That is why you feel like your energy is disappearing when you try to force things. That is why your heart feels uneasy when you try to go where God is no longer leading you. That is why certain conversations drain you instantly. That is why you feel spiritually overstimulated by the wrong people. Your inner spirit is trying to detach, even before your mind understands why. Do not fight this feeling. Do not force what God is removing. Do not return to what drained you. Do not chase what God blocked. Instead, be still. Listen. Rest. Observe. Allow God to shift your spirit without resistance. Let the tiredness guide you back to Him. Because once you step away from what's draining you, you will feel your strength returning. You will feel your clarity sharpen. You will feel your purpose awakening. You will feel your heart healing. You will feel your peace settling back into your spirit. God is replacing your confusion with understanding. He is replacing your weakness with restoration. He is replacing your fear with direction. The exhaustion will not last. It is simply the bridge between the path you forced and the path God designed. When you look back, you will realize this season saved you. This tiredness saved you. This draining season redirected you. And everything God took away was making room for everything He wanted to give you. If you feel drained, know this. God is pulling you away from the wrong path, so He can guide you into the right one. And as you move forward in this journey, something inside you will begin to awaken, slowly at first, subtly, quietly. You will start noticing the small shifts within yourself. Your thoughts will begin reorganizing. Your desires will start changing. The things that used to attract you will no longer appeal to you in the same way. The environments you once felt comfortable in will no longer feel like home. The people you once tolerated will now feel distant. This is the quiet work of God revealing your spiritual maturity. He is not only pulling you away from the wrong path, He is reshaping you into someone who can recognize the wrong path before stepping onto it again. This season of exhaustion is not punishment. It is preparation. You may feel empty right now, but God often empties you before He fills you. He removes the noise so you can hear Him again. He silences the distractions so your soul can breathe again. He allows the old energy to fade so the new can enter. You're not being drained, you're being cleansed. You're shedding an old version of yourself that can no longer continue into your future. This heaviness you feel is the weight of your own spiritual growth. Many people ask God for elevation, but they're not prepared for the pruning that comes with it. Elevation requires separation. Growth requires distance. And sometimes, the separation is not from people, but from the version of yourself that tolerated things beneath your calling. God is pulling you away from anything that dims your light or lowers your spirit. He is restoring your sensitivity to spiritual signals. He is strengthening your discernment. He is uprooting attachments that were never meant to be permanent. You may wonder why this process feels so lonely. Why it feels like everyone else is moving forward while you're stuck in place. Why you feel disconnected from the world, from your own ambitions, even from your own emotions sometimes. That's because God is isolating you to elevate you. He is removing the voices around you so you can hear the voice within you. He is separating you from the crowd so you can rediscover who you are without influence, without pressure, without noise. Your alone time is not abandonment, it is alignment. You're becoming someone new, someone stronger, more focused, more spiritually grounded. But transformation always begins in isolation. Butterflies transform alone. Diamonds form under pressure. Seeds grow in darkness. And right now, you are in your spiritual cocoon. God has you hidden for a reason. He is working on you beneath the surface, in places no one else can see. You may feel disconnected, but you are being reconnected to your purpose. You may feel lost, but you are actually being redirected. You may feel empty, but God is preparing to fill you in ways you've never experienced before. What feels like draining is actually God pulling you away from the energy that no longer aligns with your future. He is pulling you away from habits that weaken your spirit. He is pulling you away from conversations that plant doubt in your heart. He is pulling you away from relationships that drain your emotional strength. He is pulling you away from distractions that delay your destiny. He is pulling you away from temptations that could derail your purpose. He is pulling you away from shortcuts that would cost you your peace. This isn't loss, it's replacement. God never takes without giving better. But the transition between the wrong path and the right one often feels like shaking, uncertainty, confusion, and emotional detox. You're not just leaving a path, you're leaving an old identity. You're leaving old comfort zones. You're leaving the version of you that settled for less. Your spirit knows it. That's why you're tired. Your soul knows it. That's why you're restless. Your intuition knows it. That's why nothing feels the same. And God knows it. That's why He's pulling you. As you walk through this draining season, you'll notice a strange pattern. Anything that isn't meant for you will start to fall apart, no matter how much you try to fix it. Conversations will end. People will drift away. Opportunities will fade. Plans will fail. Not because you're unlucky, not because you're weak, but because God no longer wants your spirit entangled in those directions. He knows if it remained stable, you would stay. So He removes the illusion of comfort. Some blessings only arrive after God removes what blocks them. And sometimes the block is not a person or a circumstance, it's the version of you that didn't believe you deserved more. You might not realize it yet, but God is protecting your future self. He's protecting the you that will look back on this moment with gratitude. He's protecting the destiny you haven't seen yet. You think you're being drained, but God is detoxing your spirit, your environment, your relationships, your mindset. He is removing what cannot enter your next chapter. There are conversations you no longer have energy for. That's God. There are people you no longer resonate with. That's God. There are plans you no longer feel excited about. That's God. There are cycles you don't want to repeat anymore. That's God. There are habits you suddenly feel uncomfortable with. That's God. There is a version of you that is dying. That is God's work too. Sometimes God lets your spirit outgrow what your body is still standing in. And that gap, the gap between who you were and who you're becoming, is where the tiredness shows up. You are shedding your old spiritual skin. Every time God takes you to a higher level, He first removes the weights. Not to punish you, but to prepare you. Not to weaken you, but to strengthen you. He is pulling you away from the wrong path because He knows how easily purpose can be lost when surrounded by the wrong influences. He knows how subtle the path of distraction can be. He knows how tempting the wrong direction can appear. You are being spiritually recalibrated. God is tuning your heart back to His frequency. He is making you sensitive to His guidance again. That is why you feel uneasy around anything that doesn't align with truth. That is why lies drain you. That is why gossip exhausts you. That is why negativity no longer entertains you. That is why chaos disturbs your peace more than ever before. Your spirit is awakening. And once your spirit awakens, you cannot return to what numbed you. You cannot go back to the conversations that fed your insecurity. You cannot return to the relationships that drained your self-worth. You cannot settle for the things you once tolerated. Your tiredness is not the end of you. It is the end of the chapter where you live below your calling. God is preparing you for a new season. A season of clarity, strength, peace, and divine purpose. A season where you will move with intention instead of confusion. A season where you will recognize and avoid wrong paths before stepping onto them. A season where your energy will align with your destiny. But for now, rest. Let the tiredness show you what's wrong. Let the exhaustion push you away from what drains you. Let God disconnect you so He can reconnect you. Your path is changing. Your spirit is rising. Your future is being rewritten. The draining season is temporary, but the transformation it creates will last forever. God is not pulling you away to leave you empty. He is pulling you away to guide you into the life you were always meant to walk in. The right path is waiting, and you will recognize it, not by excitement or pressure, but by peace. And that peace is coming soon. Because when God finally brings you into the right path, you will feel something you haven't felt in a long time. You will feel yourself again. You will feel the weight lift off your chest. You will feel your breathing becoming easier. You will feel your thoughts becoming clearer. You will feel your spirit becoming lighter. And that shift will not be subtle. It will be undeniable. You will look back and realize that the exhaustion you carried was not your natural state. It was a symptom of spiritual misalignment. There is a reason God let that heaviness stay for a while. He needed you to feel the difference between peace and pressure, between forcing and flowing, between being drained and being directed. He allowed the tiredness so you would never again confuse emotional attachment with spiritual alignment. So you would never again settle for a path that pulled you away from who you were becoming. The truth is, when God pulls you away from the wrong path, it often means He is preparing someone, somewhere, or something that aligns perfectly with your purpose. But before He can bring that into your life, He must clear the space. You cannot receive what's meant for you if your hands are still full of what's hurting you. You cannot walk into the right chapter if you're still trying to rewrite the wrong one. And yes, releasing the old is painful. Your heart gets attached. Your mind builds stories. Your emotions create bonds. But God looks beyond the moment. He looks at the future you cannot see yet. He knows what a healed version of you needs. He knows what a mature version of you deserves. He knows what a spiritually awakened version of you will thrive in. And so He removes everything that would interfere with that version of you. Right now, you might feel like your soul is somewhere between holding on and letting go. You may feel torn. You may feel uncertain. You may feel like you're floating in the middle of nowhere. This is the in-between stage, the spiritual transition zone. It's the space where God pulls you out before showing you where you're going next. This space is uncomfortable but necessary. It teaches you to trust when you cannot trace Him. It teaches you to stop depending on people and start depending on God. It teaches you to wait without fear. It teaches you to grow in silence. During this stage, you will also realize that the things you thought you needed were never what your soul required. You'll start craving peace more than attention, stability more than excitement, clarity more than confusion, growth more than company, purpose more than comfort. And this shift in your desires is proof that your spirit is healing. The draining season was not meant to destroy you. It was meant to reveal what truly matters. You'll notice that your mind will start rejecting negative patterns. Conversations that once entertained you will become uninteresting. People who once influenced you will lose their power. Triggers that once controlled you will no longer shake you. This is spiritual elevation. Your energy is being protected. Your discernment is being sharpened. Your intuition is being amplified. God is aligning you with your true path, the one that will not drain you but will energize you, the one that will not confuse you but will strengthen you, the one that will not break you but will build you, the one that will not distract you but will grow you. And when you arrive on that path, everything will feel different. You will walk with confidence, not fear. You will speak with purpose, not uncertainty. You will choose with clarity, not confusion. You will give with balance, not emptiness. This next chapter of your life will not require you to shrink yourself. It will not require you to overextend, overthink, or overgive. It will be a path where things flow naturally because they are divinely aligned. You will not have to force anything. The right path feels like peace. The wrong path feels like pressure. Now you know the difference. And something powerful will happen. Your energy will return. Not the old energy, but a renewed one. A stronger one. A wiser one. A more spiritually grounded one. You will feel motivated again. Inspired again. Connected again. You will wake up with a sense of direction instead of heaviness. You will feel a fire inside you that had been dimmed for too long. And that fire will guide you into opportunities you once believed were impossible. People will notice the change in you. They will see the glow returning to your spirit. They will feel the shift in your presence. They will sense the calmness in your energy. They will realize that whatever drained you is no longer a part of your life. And they will see that your strength didn't come from avoiding the storm, but from surviving the spiritual pulling that God used to redirect your path. And when they ask how you're doing it, you will smile quietly, because you will know the truth. You didn't choose this path. God led you to it. You didn't force the transformation. God initiated it. You didn't wake up suddenly healed. You were guided through your healing, step by step, moment by moment, with every ounce of tiredness that pushed you away from the wrong direction. This is the beauty of divine redirection. It never ends with loss. It ends with clarity. It ends with growth. It ends with elevation. God is preparing you for a chapter where your spirit will finally feel safe, nourished, energized, and aligned. You're not tired because you're weak. You're tired because God is finishing a chapter. And when He closes a chapter, He never asks you to turn back. He simply asks you to trust Him enough to walk forward into the one He prepared for you. Your new path is coming. Your new strength is coming. Your new clarity is coming. Your new peace is coming. And you will soon understand why the draining season was necessary. And when the new path finally appears in front of you, it won't come with noise or confusion. It will come with a quiet knowing, a gentle certainty, a steady peace that settles in your heart without explanation. You won't need to force anything, chase anything, or beg for clarity. The right path will reveal itself in the same quiet way God pulled you away from the wrong one, subtle, gentle, but unmistakable. You'll notice the difference immediately. Your spirit will respond before your mind does. You'll feel drawn instead of drained, pulled instead of pushed, aligned instead of confused. That's how you'll know it's from God. His plans don't exhaust you, they empower you. His direction doesn't weaken you, it strengthens you. His path doesn't take from you, it teaches you. Every moment of exhaustion you faced, every emotional weight you carried, every sleepless night where you questioned yourself, it was all leading you here. You were being refined, softened, strengthened, and awakened. You were being prepared for a season where you would no longer mistake noise for purpose or attachment for alignment. You were being prepared to recognize God's voice again. And soon, you will stand with a clarity that surprises even you. You will look back at the season where you felt drained and realize it was not a season of breaking, it was a season of becoming. You were shedding old versions of yourself that could not survive the elevation God was bringing. You were learning to discern the difference between spiritual nourishment and spiritual depletion. You were being guided toward a life where peace is not rare, but regular. This new chapter will demand a better, stronger, wiser version of you, and the draining season is what shaped that version. You are stepping into alignment now. You are stepping into clarity. You are stepping into purpose. And God did not pull you away to leave you empty. He pulled you away so He could guide you into everything you were always meant to carry. Your strength is returning. Your spirit is rising. Your path is opening. And this time, you will walk it with confidence and peace.